Before I start this video, I want to thank everybody that like, comment, share, and subscribe. I see it. God see it. Blessings to you and your situations. Just in case you don't make it to the end of the video, I wanted to thank you now. Thank you. And I mean that.
Why are y'all eating bear feet? Now, don't be mad when the bears start eating human feet. Don't be.
大熊掌又出锅了。
Asia gonna eat. Asia is gonna eat. Why are y'all eating bear feet?
Here's an incredibly disturbing bit of Hollywood trivia. You've heard of the show Law & Order SVU. It doesn't matter if you haven't seen it. For some of my fans, this show has been on longer than they've been alive. Okay, the star of that show is an actor named Mariska Hargitay. Now, this next part's going to seem unrelated to you, but stick with me. And warning, this is where the story gets very dark. If you have ever been driving behind a semi-truck on the street and you've seen this little bar here at the bottom, this little striped bar, some people call that a Mansfield bar. It is named after Mariska Hargitay's mother, an actor named Jane Mansfield. But not because she invented it. Jane Mansfield was a star in the 1950s and 60s. She died when she was just 34 years old in a gruesome car accident. Jane, her boyfriend, and her 3 children ran into the back of a semi before they had those little bars under there, meaning that the back of the semi hit the car at exactly windshield level, that is, head level for everybody in the vehicle. There are many photos of the aftermath of this accident that I am purposefully not showing here. Don't go look them up. But they called this the Mansfield bar because after that accident, countries around the world started demanding they add these to trucks, specifically to prevent that kind of accident. The accident happened in 1967, and afterward people kept saying that she was decapitated in the accident, and she wasn't, but the truth isn't much better. Mansfield, her boyfriend, and the driver of the vehicle all died instantly. Her 3 children were in the back seat and they all survived. One of those children was her. She was 3 years old at the time. All of this used to be common knowledge at one time, but every time it comes up on social media, I see a bunch of young people who have never heard it. Here's an...
The things we do, there's like a million possible outcomes. Choices. Choices. And the theory is that each outcome actually happens. Like a tree growing branches, and each branch is like an alternate timeline. So right now you're in class. Listen to me drone on and on about physics, right? But in another timeline, you skip school. You gotta watch Point Break. Or you're in the hospital with leukemia. And I mean, in this reality, right, we're sitting here eating whatever bullshit cold fries, right? But in another timeline, I'm like a billionaire. I'm a billionaire. Or homeless. Or married in the suburbs with like 2.3 kids.
So basically, we're everywhere at the same time doing all types of different things. I get it.
Rod Serling, you dirty bitch. This is season 5, episode 14 of the Twilight Zone, The Ring-a-Ding Girl, and I am devastation. Tighten your bras one.
I'm going to tell you right now, the Twilight Zone The X-Files, Rick and Morty, and one more. The Twilight Zone, X-Files, Rick and Morty. It was one more. These shows right here, they tell the truth. If you was to go back and watch the Twilight Zone, you would be surprised. Um, it's like the Twilight Zone is prophecy, man. Go back and watch some episodes of the Twilight Zone, and you will see stuff playing out right now that they was talking about in the Twilight Zone.
Okay, Mother Nature. Tighten your bras one more loop as me and Mother Nature give you a breakdown of this damn episode. So the episode opens here, and in the 1960s, any building that was white and had palm trees was in what state? California, exactly. We are quickly introduced to our main character, Bunny, and the B in Bunny must stand for bad bitch. But apparently the B must also stand for time blindness because she is 25 minutes behind schedule and her plane about to leave her. Her manager like, girl, get your shit together before this plane leave you. She like, how can they lead a star? And they especially can't leave her without her rings, which is what she's famous for. But before she closes her luggage, her manager slides a note in there. And for some reason, the manager thought that Bunny had enough self-control to say, okay, I'll just read it when we get to the airport. No, Bunny want to read it now. Bunny want her gift now. And the note says, please accept this gift as a token of our affection from your fan club in Howardville. Now, Howardville is her hometown. Bunny gonna ask the manager if she know where Howardville is. The manager like, girl, I don't give a damn where Howardville is. Get your ass in this car so we can go to the airport. But of course, Bunny ignores this lady's clear concern that she's gonna miss her flight and says, well, you'll see it during our flight because we'll fly right over it. Remember that. And this same hometown set up a GoFundMe to get Bunny to Hollywood. The manager's still unimpressed. She like, what they send you, the key to the damn Wonder Bread factory? You know what, I'm just gonna get the bag for you. I'll meet you downstairs. Well, it turns out her fan club sent her a ring. And as she puts the ring on, it starts giving Madame Leota realness. And it morphs into what looks like a crystal ball. And this woman's face appears and she just says over and over again, come home, Bunny, Bunny, come home. And you guessed it, this is when I leaned in. Because people mamas can barely work FaceTime, let alone a damn crystal ball ring. Enter Rod Serling, cigarette-less this time, telling us that Bunny is on her way to the Twilight Zone. In the next scene, we are introduced to Clyde and his mama, and Al Green is obviously playing on this Saturday because that house is getting cleaned. But Clyde obviously didn't hear his Frank Sinatra wake-up call this morning because he ain't even started his chores. And his mama ain't having it. She tells him to take his narrow ass outside and mow that lawn. And while she's vacuuming, the vacuum goes out. And all of a sudden she hears boo from her right shoulder. Who is it but Bunny's ass? She's like, Bunny, what are you doing here? And they start kikiing it up like your aunties at homecoming. How you doing, girl? You look good. Well, you look blessed. Well, I ain't as blessed as you. You know the whole thing. Turns out this is Bunny's sister, and she has not seen Bunny in 5 years, so she's like, what are you doing home? Bunny's like, well, I figured you'd like to see me, especially after this really nice ring that y'all got me. Turns out Bunny's sister got everybody in town to donate $1 each to get her that ring. So because of the ring turning into a crystal ball earlier, Bunny's like, is everything okay here? Her sister is like, yeah, why? Bunny's like, you know what, maybe I'm having a hallucination. As she takes this fur off, she drags it on the floor, and her sister's like, I have not cleaned the floor. She's like, oh girl, this is how they teach you in Hollywood. You drag your shit on the floor because you genuinely don't care about it, and besides, you got 10 at home. Like, Bunny is a trained bad bitch. Do you hear me? So her sister is like, how long are you in town? Bunny's like, just for the day. And her sister is like, a day? She's like, look, I'm supposed to be in Rome, but I got to the airport and I was like, you know what? I'm going to visit home first. So Clyde comes downstairs and he's like, Auntie, what are you doing here? So as they're reminiscing about all the things that Bunny used to do in town, her sister reminds her that the town picnic that they used to always host is this afternoon. And it looks like Bunny is getting a premonition as her sister tells her, I'm leading food and Clyde is a lifeguard. And another person FaceTimes Bunny's ring, but this time it's a TV anchor from the local news station. And he gives a shout out to Bunny and it's like, Bunny, wherever you are, help us. We need you. And he just keeps saying it over and over again. And you would have thought that Sally Mae told her she needs to pay them student loans in full. Her sister and nephew are like, are you okay? The answer is no. She collapses. So they call a doctor over there, and this man obviously learned his bedside manner from DeVry University. He is so damn rude. But Bunny admits, I faked it. I just wanted to see you. In fact, she faked it so well that her ass want a cigarette now. Well, it turns out, friend, come here. This man is actually the chairman for the picnic, and Bunny would like him to cancel it or postpone it to another day. because quite frankly, she would like to only see the people that she knows from her childhood, and the other broke unknown bitches don't need to be around her. So she looks this man right at his crow's feet and says, cancel the damn picnic. And rightfully so, he looks at her and goes, you out your rabbit ass mind if you think I'm about to cancel this picnic. You think 16 tons of ribs and brisket is refundable, bitch, please? And after reading her for filth, he goes, now, I'm going to write you a prescription so you can get some rest. But as he's writing that prescription, a Ring FaceTime pops up again. And it's yet another person asking her for help. So now I'm starting to feel bad for her because something is obviously going on. But this doctor don't care about nothing she got to say. And he quickly tells her sister, look, she's hallucinating. She needs some rest. He gives a prescription to her sister. Her sister gives it to the son. And the son is going to take Bunny to the pharmacist. And as they are walking out of the door, the weather is outside cutting up, so I'm like, uh-oh, it's about to be a tornado. She gotta save him. So they get in the car and they head to the pharmacy. But for some reason, before getting her medication, she wants to stop at the high school to talk to the old groundskeeper. And this is the man that she wants to talk to. Does this man look like he's ever been on the right side of history? Bunny, please. She like, look, Mr. Gentry, I know you don't like me and I don't like your old ass either. However, I need you to unlock the doors to the school gym. He like, here you go asking for favors. Barbara, I don't have to unlock a damn thing because the doors to the gym are always open. So you and anybody who want to come in here can come in here. Bunny is like, bet. But don't you take your ass to that picnic. And she walks out and leaves him and us confused. Next, she asks her nephew to take her one more place. Back at her sister's house, her phone is going up because everybody is like, girl, your sister's in town. And the reason they know she's in town is because Bunny has asked her nephew to take her to the television station because she used to date the man that is now the reporter. And Bunny looks into that camera and tells the entire town, you can either go to that little raggedy ass picnic or you can see me perform a rare one-woman show at the high school gymnasium at 3 p.m. You make your choice, quickly. So now the town has reached an impasse. Because do you want to go see the bad bitch perform or do you want to go eat? When Bunny walks in that house, I thought her sister was going to beat her ass. She's like, Bunny, why would you do that? All of the hard work that goes into the picnic and you come in town trying to stunt on everybody. And Bunny is like, although stunting is a habit, y'all got to trust me on this one. So her sister trusts Bunny and she's like, fine, I'll go to your show. 3 p.m. rolls around and now Bunny ass is late yet again. And as Bunny comes downstairs, her Ring FaceTimes her again. This time it's the captain on the flight. And this captain casually says, ladies and gentlemen, we're running into a little bit of weather. Put your seatbelts on and get ready for rough air. And you see Bunny's manager and Bunny on the plane. But Bunny in the living room. But despite me yelling at the TV and asking Bunny why she not on that plane, she runs over to the window and she's like, y'all need to fire your weatherman. It is wilding outside. And he told y'all it was going to be a bright sunny day for a picnic. So I'm like, okay, cute, but you need to get to this performance that you promised everybody. Instead, she's hugging her sister like, thank you so much. And right as she says, just for being my sister, her nephew hears an ambulance siren outside the window and is like, what is going on? Bunny's sister tells her son to turn on the radio so they can figure out what's going on. That's equivalent to us getting on the Bird app today. And as he's doing that, the phone rings and Bunny is just kind of in the background being weird. And then she walks out of the front door into the rain like Usher in the Let It Burn video. I was wondering if she was going to start dancing. When she suddenly fades away, it starts to click. The call that Bunny's sister received was this gentleman telling her that a plane crash just occurred at the picnic site and Bunny's body is on that flight. And Bunny's sister is like, that's not possible because Bunny is here with us. He's like, look, I saw the body. Other people saw the body. It's Bunny. So Bunny's sister starts to freak out because she's like, no, this girl is in my house. And as she's freaking out, the radio correspondent says a plane crash occurred at exactly 3 p.m. in the same spot that would have been the picnic grounds of our annual picnic. However, the only lives taken were the lives on the flight because everybody in the town was at the high school gymnasium to see Bunny perform. So not only was Bunny not being selfish, but somehow her spirit saved the town. The radio host also confirms that a lot of people in town saw Bunny that day, but that policemen have confirmed that Bunny's body was on that plane. And her sister goes to take a step forward and kick something. Y'all, it's Bunny's ring. We'll see you at the crossroads, Bunny, so you won't be lonely. Rise, sir.
If you want to know who's running the show on the physical plane, you have to go to demon-infested Rome and the families that have controlled Rome. And there are other corporations, i.e. Paris, London and Bonn in Germany, DC, Wall Street and the Zionists. So they are all controlled by Italian families, rest assured, and Germanic families, because of the Holy Roman Empire, which was once Roman and German. And the German families would be the Rothschilds, the Bowers, the Windsors, the black nobility, basically. Black because their deeds are black. They are witches, covens of witches, den of thieves. They are Pharisees. They are offspring of vipers. They have no source connection. All they want to do is rule at all costs, no matter how, even if they suffer. For instance, chemtrails, which are toxic, and all of these horrible fluoride in the water, and all of this poison that they're putting everywhere, chemicals. This is deliberate because they are masters at destroying the souls of other beings. The Vatican's a gang, the Jesuits are a gang, the Jewish mafia, Khazarian/Hyksos gang. There's lots of mafias, there's a lot of gangs, and mostly top-heavy with pedophiles. They are warmongering. They love war so that we can always have fear, and so that we always live in fear and anxiety and the dread of what may come upon us. These gangs are basically infested by demons, and not in the traditional sense of demon, but in the sense of egregore. These gangs, they create egregores. That's why gangs are formed, you see. And it's why the scriptures warn us against going with the crowd. Better to walk alone than with a crowd that's going the wrong way.
Shake hands with that Mason. Sure. What you'll see is they put the thumb there on, that would be the third knuckle from the thumb. So you see this very frequently. This is the entered apprentice. There are two for philograph, but Master Mason is right there. And whenever I've shaken somebody's hand that way as a Mason, it's almost like a jolt. They get it. Masons will always go in to make that handshake because it's innocuous enough to know that, well, if you're not a Mason, you're not going to respond, but it's also obvious to a Mason to know that if you are, he's trying to communicate to you.
Okay, the next thing that happens is that he says something to you after you make the handshake.
If you don't know them, he will say, so you're traveling. It means, are you a brother? Are you traveling? Are you a brother? Are you on your journey in Freemasonry with me? So you say, yes, I'm traveling. And with another lawyer who was a Mason that appeared before a judge, and he gave him the sign of the entered apprentice degree. And the judge understood that he was a Mason and therefore gave a favorable ruling to his client. There are all different kinds of examples. It's a statement that you make with it, which takes place in the third degree of Freemasonry, which is the death, burial, and resurrection ceremony that the Master Mason goes through. And it's, O Lord, my God, is there no help for the widow's son? This is the sign of distress. This is how your hands were placed on the volume of the sacred law when you swore your Masonic obligation.
O Lord, my God. O Lord, my God. O Lord, my God. Is there no help for the widow's son?
Now, don't go try to do this with a Mason, okay? Because he's going to give you another symbol, and you won't know what it is. Turn sideways. No, this way. You won't know what it is, and you'll be standing there looking stupid, thinking you're getting in good with the Mason. This is the grip, the hand grip of the lion's paw. 3 fingers in the middle, the baby finger and the thumb on the outside. Place your 3 fingers here on my pulse, okay? And the thumb is pressed between.
Cat Williams just proved he was never against the industry. In 2024, he became the face of the resistance, but his appearance at the viral Kevin Hart roast confirms it was an act all along. It wasn't about the jokes. What Cat said on that stage contradicts everything he claimed he stood for. By the end of this video, you will question everything you thought you knew about Cat Williams. Ever since the Shannon Sharpe interview, Cat Williams has been looked as a hero of sorts, the man who stood up against the industry and refused to compromise. One thing he made clear during his interview was that Kevin Hart didn't follow the same principles. Cat pointed out his questionable relationships and his industry antics that painted him as a snake. He made it clear that he refuses to be anything like Kevin Hart. So when he showed up to his roast, cracking jokes about doing it only for the money, the world was completely caught off guard. Didn't Cat Williams specifically call Kevin a sellout? It makes no sense that he would show up and participate in this event. Doesn't this contradict everything he claimed? The reality is Cat Williams played everyone, and this just confirmed it. The fact that he showed up to this roast was a massive red flag. But more importantly, you have to pay attention to the things he actually said during it. It confirms that his resistance persona was all in act since the very beginning. The first thing that stuck out to me was his justification for why he did this event. He responded by saying it was strictly for the money. Then he said he was the only one at the event with a soul.
Why is the Cat Man doing this? For the money, bitch.
This right here was the first fatal mistake he made. He must think we're all completely stupid. By him admitting that he's participating in this roast simply for money is essentially an admission of selling out.
I don't think that he sold out, and I think that when he say he's doing it for the money, he's saying, I'm not selling my soul. I don't care if they like it. I don't care if they approve of it. I'm just here to get me some money. They giving out some money and I'm going to get it. Then I'm going to go home with my family and I'm going to take my ass to sleep. I'm not going to the Epstein Islands. I'm not drinking no blood. None of that shit. I'm finna go up here, roast Kevin Hart, and get some damn money. I don't think that Cat Williams sold out like that. I really don't.
If Cat doesn't respect what Kevin stands for and what he represents, wouldn't taking money to participate in a Kevin Hart event, even if it's to roast him, be against what you stand for? You are literally selling out by agreeing to participate in this roast. We all know you can't serve two masters. No matter how much you claim to be one of the people who still have a soul in the industry, admitting to only doing this for the money proves you yourself sold out. Honestly, how do you want us to believe you're against the industry while you're getting paid to be at an industry event? You really think we're that slow? Then we have to talk about the part of his set where he called out the industry inner circles. He literally made jokes insinuating the event was orchestrated by Hollywood big shots, the exact same corporate power structures he pretended to call out during the Shannon Sharpe interview. He is basically saying they're all a part of this exclusive inner circle, yet he showed up to that exact same crowd. How can you call out the people in the room as industry pawns when you're sitting right there in the room with them? Cat, we all know they invited you because you're obviously down with the program. The next thing he said that was highly questionable was his ongoing narrative about Kevin Hart being an industry creation. He initially pushed this during his Shannon Sharpe interview. He claimed that the reason Kevin got so massive was that he was heavily manufactured and corporate media was using him to push a brand. He even claimed that Kevin proved he was willing to sell out his image with certain outfits he wore during his sketches. While I agree that Kevin is heavily managed by Hollywood PR machines, I also Cat Williams.
This will not be a great video to watch if you plan on going on a nature hike solo anytime soon. What if trees aren't exactly what you think they are? What if I told you that trees could possibly be a portal to another dimension or something that could trap you forever? Now guys, this is just a theory here, but the fact that we have found people encased in trees before makes you have to look at trees a little differently, okay? We talked about that famous story where the little boy went to hide behind the tree. This is on the Missing 411. And he went to go hide behind the tree, and his dad was watching them because they were all playing hide and go seek, and the dad was watching the little boy play while all the kids play hide and go seek. His little boy ducked behind a tree. Then one of the other boys got done counting, and they went to look behind the tree, and he's gone. To this day, they've never found him. It's been more than 40 years. They've never found any part of his body. And the dad went back there to check behind the tree, and he was just vanished. People have been found encased in trees multiple times, okay? Loggers will be cutting trees down. They'll cut a tree in half. There's a body inside of it. The tree had no hole originally, so it wasn't like somebody got stuffed in there by some kind of serial killer. Now, the fact that this has even happened once, let alone multiple times, tells me this is something that we need to be looking into. You know, you hear about tree entities all the time. I mean, look at pop culture references. The Wizard of Oz shows the trees that are alive that go grab them. You know, the Evil Dead has the whole, you know, vine thing. There's a lot of stories with like nature and the fae and fairy rings on the ground and, you know, these different things. We're seeing this famous story right now of this guy that swears his tree is moving, you know, little by little every day. And you have to wonder if there's something to this. You know, if you guys watch the show From, and you see that, you know, the faraway trees, and then, you know, one of them, the guy went into it and encased him into the side of a pool. Once again, these pop culture references reference real things that people have supposedly witnessed, talked about, or gone through. And that just freaks me out. People talk about going to the woods and going through portals, or Missing 411, people just turning up missing and gone away. It almost always seems like there's a connection to these missing people when people are right there with them. Like there's so many stories of somebody was like, oh yeah, there was 5 of us. We were all right together. Somebody just walked over to use the bathroom and they were gone forever. Did they lean against a tree? Did they touch one of these trees? Did the tree reach out and grab them and bring them in? Even in
I heard that happened a lot in Vietnam. The trees were snatching people up. I believe that. I believe that I Am Groot is real. Black Mirror. Black Mirror on Netflix. That was the other TV show that tells the truth. Earlier in this video, I said that the Twilight Zone, the X-Files, Rick and Morty, and one more. That last one was Black Mirror. If you watch those 4 shows, you will know everything about this.
My videos in the past, people have said that they have seen faces in the trees behind me, like these trees right here behind me, when I'm doing my videos. And there's been so many screenshots of faces in the trees while I'm doing this. Could this be something that a supernatural creature does and has the ability to do, is to, pull you into these trees? Who knows? It's just a very creepy theory to look at. Go down that rabbit hole a little bit if you will. TikTok, please don't take down my video. I'm not saying this is a fact. I'm just saying it's a theory. I want to know what you guys have to say about it. If you're enjoying all these creepy stories and phenomenons, go follow our podcast. It's called Matt, M-A-T-T, from Nomads. It's on Spotify and Apple Podcast.
I've seen a 1991 version of the weapon.
What he's describing is a frequency gun in real time.
How they're designed to make the target feel like they're crazy, like they're imagining things.
I've seen a 1991.
No, this right here is a kind of creepy story. A man named Derek bought a home in Alabama, and he found 2 homemade Ouija boards and decided not to take a chance. And he was burning some brush, and he decided to throw them in there. And he decided to take this video because, as you can see, these lights and images, what are they? Could they be some kind of bad spirits coming from these homemade Ouija boards? Or could it be some kind of lighting flare from the fire and the camera lens? Because we all know that Ouija boards open doorways to bad places. No.
Hospital birth blocks past life memories. Watch. The woman is commonly in the wrong position, she's commonly pumped with drugs, and the room has terrible lighting. Cutting the umbilical cord causes brain damage, because at least 30% of the baby's blood is in the placenta at birth, and only 8 to 10% of their blood is in their lungs. Leaving the umbilical cord on until it falls off naturally allows the blood to transition from the placenta into the baby's lungs, brain, and other organs. If you cut the cord, you reduce blood to the brain and cause various levels of brain damage. The placenta is a respiratory organ. The baby breathes through the placenta. It is part of the baby's vascular system. At least 30% of the baby's blood is in the placenta at birth. Clamping and cutting the placenta suffocates the baby because they have amniotic fluid in their lungs, and since their lungs aren't dry, they can't breathe properly yet. The umbilical cord is commonly cut too early, especially during cesarean section. A lotus birth could be anywhere from 3 to 15 days to transfer all the stem cells in blood. 45% of all births were C-section. Most babies are lucky to get 30 to 60 seconds, 5 minutes at max. This is all traumatic, and trauma causes amnesia. This is where personality disorders are born. Dissociative amnesia, especially with circumcision. Circumcision removes 20,000 nerves and makes you dissociate from your body. The foreskin protects the pineal and heart areas of the penis. Look, this blocks full communication with the woman, leading to hypersexuality. These traumas shallow the breath and block them from ever being uncovered for decades, if ever. When the breath is disrupted, the entire endocrine system, or chakra system rather, is disrupted. These traumas are like walls that shallow breathing keeps you from ever getting past. This is memory fragmentation. Fragmentation is a misappropriation of memory. The pineal gland is the heart eye, the first eye. The pineal sits atop the endocrine system, aka the chakra system. The trauma disrupts the breathing, which disrupts the endocrine system, which disrupts the dreams. Dreams, or heaven, are reality. This life is the dream. The breath is a spiritual blockchain. Each breath takes you to the next one. When you don't breathe correctly from the diaphragm, your traumas become walls, blocking you from all the memories that happened before them. Unresolved traumas create personalities, parasite programs to cope with them. Then you can only address these traumas while dreaming. This causes most to block their dreams with food, smoke, and drugs, etc. This causes false identification with the program or the parasite, the personality. This feels like safety. The traumas become suppressed and arise each night in dreams. The traumas cause a blacking out or dissociating, or forgotten dream. You then use your dream space to stuff traumas rather than to create new memories. This keeps you on the hamster wheel of the same memories lifetime after lifetime. As a baby, your birth traumas blocked you from recalling your dreams or lives as an old man. And if you block your dreams all your life, you block the recall of your next dream, aka life, where you're a child again. This is oblivion, aka samsara. Hospital birth.
Oh, we got you now, Kool-Aid. Just look at the middle of his face. And the fact that I just noticed this,
Hold up. Is it 666, the two eyes and the nose? Is that what he about to say? Because if so, I could see it.
it's not a game. Oh, no, it's not a game at all, guys. And to think that my people love this drink. They drink it all the time. I drink it here and there too, but I never knew what I know now. Because it looks so refreshing. When they do the pictures like this, makes it seem like it's okay. But we got you. We got you. You see what I see. You see it. Look at his face. You see it. You see what's going on here, guys. Should I say it? Ain't nothing to say. You see it. I can't believe that my whole life I never noticed that. Until now. Truth in plain sight. Wow, this was a good one right here, guys. Let everybody know. Let them know that this red Kool-Aid is banging. Woo! This is what happens, guys. This is what happens when you can see. Because before I used to be blind, guys. I wasn't always good with my vision. But now I can see everything. And I definitely see those three numbers. Am I going to say it? This video is for entertainment purposes only. I'm just letting people know that Kool-Aid is amazing. I've been drinking this my whole life. I don't know, guys. You let me know what you think about this. I'm out.
Stop lying. Stop acting. You all never went to space. You all never went to space.
Let me get this straight. NASA just dropped their big "We did it again" victory lap on Artemis 2. 4 astronauts, supposedly joyriding around the moon. Except 2 of those American crew members look like they were yanked straight out of central casting.
2 of the 4 American astronauts that are on that flight, they're right out of central casting.
Pinky swear they weren't filming on a soundstage the whole time. And get ready for the physics-defying finale. Their fancy capsule allegedly screamed through the atmosphere at a scorching 2,800 degrees Celsius for minutes on end. Yet somehow, just minutes later, these clowns are casually touching the hull and popping the hatch like it's a damn lunchbox. We got live TV green screen glitches, suspiciously perfect CGI Earth shots, and far side lighting that belongs in a Hollywood blockbuster, not outer space. Oh, and the radiation belts? NASA shrugs and says, "Don't worry, we fixed it this time." After 50 years, how insanely convenient. Same agency, same bag of tricks, just wrapped in a shiny new billion-dollar production. They fooled everyone with Apollo. Now they're dropping the sequel. Open your eyes, people. The moon landing studio never closed. They just upgraded the set. Wake up before Artemis 3 hits theaters near you.
Man, get in here, get in here, get in here, get in here. Man, when I done this video, it got a lot of people talking. But let me agree with you for the first goddamn time. I thought this was AI too. Before I begin, I thought it was AI too. And the only reason why I agree with y'all, because I didn't even hear this speech. This speech been hidden a long time. I did not even hear this speech. So I thought it was AI too. Until I done further research, and this video came out way before it was AI, right? Way before it was AI. And especially, he used the words, before the Pilgrim's father landed. That means he was already here. That's what he was saying, technically. Now remember, Christopher Columbus never stepped foot in North America. We all know that, right? Now, I even went back, even on YouTube, and this is 2018, right? But it goes all the way back to 1996. But it says 2018. We were here, right? I did not know this video existed. So I agree with you. I swear to God, I agree for the first time, man. So now, this got me kind of thinking right here. This right here got me kind of thinking. So did we write the Native Americans in the contract? Because you couldn't have wrote us in your contract, right? That doesn't make sense since we was already here. And now it's starting to make sense why they unalived the king. Because he started telling the truth, literally. Now it all makes sense. But what doesn't make sense, Walter Pleckett already done us in, and he gonna do us in after that? He call us colored, he call us African American. Is time real? Because each generation, they still doing the same damn thing. And I think we are PCs ourselves. Because there's no way our ancestors can be like, yeah, man, we colored folks. Now, since he said it, like he inputted a computer program, and I'm a proud African American. So what you mean? If they call us a lawnmower American, what we gonna say? We proud lawnmower Americans? Call us water bottle Americans. What we gonna say? We proud water bottle Americans? Well, I mean, come on now. When the name calling gonna stop like we slaves? We was already here. All secrets revealed. But if you'd like to donate $1, I greatly appreciate it.
This kid's own mother called him an embarrassment. And now people call him a legend. So at just the age of 15, his mother gave him a choice. Either stop this stupid streaming stuff or get out of her house. Now, he was really into streaming and he wasn't.
All of this is made up. Look at him. Look at the video of IShowSpeed right here. Don't he look like a little gremlin or some type of shit, a reptilian or something? They put him in front of us. Just like Cat Williams was saying that they put Kevin Hart right in front of us. IShowSpeed is a plant too. They already knew that he was going to be IShowSpeed when he was 6 years old. They already knew. And you know, they always come up with this story. This story about him being misunderstood by his mother, and all of this shit is made up. I'm telling you, all of this stuff that you see on TV, on the internet, all of this shit is fake, man.
Wasn't trying to hear all that, so he packed his stuff and he left and went to his dad's crib. Now, his dad didn't really care what he did, so without any structure or plan, he just kept streaming and streaming and streaming. But the thing is, almost nobody was watching, and he was doing this for years now, and there were no signs that it was going anywhere. Then the pandemic hit and the world got quiet, but he just got louder and he kept going. And slowly but surely, people started paying attention. 2 years later, he hit 100,000 subscribers. 2 months after he hit 100,000, he hit 1 million subscribers. And by 2023, 20 million subscribers. And he's still not slowing down. His so-called embarrassing dream had come true.
You're not gonna have 20 million subscribers if you're not one of them. That's too much influence, man.
He forgave his mom for not seeing the vision and even bought her a mansion. His name is Darren Watkins Jr., and you might know him as IShowSpeed.
Look at him sticking out his tongue, his white tongue. That should look nasty.
There is a theory that full-body realistic skin suits exist and that people and other beings are wearing them to disguise themselves for one reason or another. Now, I'm not hating, pointing finger, or blaming. If I was in their position, I probably would do it too, honey. I got a little sagging here, and oh my goodness. So give me a skin suit so I can wear my Dolly Parton cowboy cheerleader outfit. But aside from that, what else is really going on? My true crime brain said, how do we know that somebody don't put one of them things on, the masks that goes under the shirt, go and commit a crime? It's caught on camera. How you gonna ever prove it was a totally different person? Because those masks look real.
33 feet tall giants. Have you heard anything like that?
Yes, I've heard about that.
33-foot tall giants. That's an interesting number there. The recently deceased researcher and ufologist David Wilcock and Emery Smith sat down and talked about something very unique. You have to hear this.
The oldest of the Antarctica wreckage that I've heard about from more than one source is apparently 33 feet tall giants. Have you heard anything like that?
Yes, I've heard about that. Extraterrestrials, bodies down there that were over 30 feet tall. One of the amazing things that we found at this other place was a 33-foot being inside a sarcophagi in a state of stasis.
Really?
So, you know, this is kind of a pre-Adamite type being, we believe.
33-foot tall giants. That's an interesting number there.
33 feet tall giants. Have you heard any?
And scientists have discovered that the average time at least is 21 consecutive days of repeating something before the brain can create the glial and astral cells for it. Now, the thing is that is, it might take longer with some people because people damage their brain through alcohol and tobacco and excessive use of marijuana and other recreational drugs, and also not getting their, the nutrients, you see, that they need, you see that. If you are taking a lot of DHA, that's the fish oil, the EPA and DHA, your brain will make those connections sooner than somebody who is not taking these, nutritional supplements, nutritional, needs. So 21 day is the average. Some people might need to go longer than that. And in the course, we give you insight into how to know when things are happening. You see that? When you find certain reflexes, you find yourself reflexing, the things that you've learned. What happens to think about it, then you know that it's taken hold of the brain, or the brain has taken hold of the teachings. You see, if I say how much is 12 divided by 2, the answer should come right away. If you have to, count your fingers and think about it and, do step by step, processes to get to the answer, then the brain has not yet picked it up.
This is the Devil's Bible. It's a real medieval manuscript. Let's talk about it. Obviously, this is not a normal Bible. This Bible contains exorcisms, medical text, and history. It was created in the early 1200s. The Bible weighs 165 pounds. As you can tell right here, this is a real picture of the Bible, but this Bible has a crazy legend behind how it was actually made. So a monk, a holy man, supposedly broke monastery rules, and they put him in prison, and they said, you're going to have to suffer for the rest of your life. And in revenge, this is what he did. The monk decides to make a deal with Satan. Satan enters his cell because he hears the prayers from the monk that at one time in his life was praying to God, but is now praying to Satan. He wants to make a deal with Satan and to make this Bible that has these holy powers that he could cast out demons out of people through this Bible. And he wants to basically get his revenge on the monastery for putting him in this prison. Satan accepts the deal, but in return, he gets a lifetime of service or slavery from the monk. Legend has it that he made the Bible in one night. Now, is any of this true? Probably not. But the Bible is a real Bible, and it's made from over 100 real animal skins. Very interesting thing to make a Bible out of, but I guess it's Satan's Bible, right? This book absolutely fascinates me, but I want nothing, I want to repeat that. I want nothing to do with this Bible. I would not probably even want to go and be in the presence of this book. But if any of you ever want to actually see the Bible for yourself, it's in the library, the National Library of Sweden. Crazy story.